I can tell you it was a very compelling session today. It was driven by three big news items, right? First, that petroleum inventory news. After 8 weeks of declines, there was a shocking increase in crude oil reported by the EIA today. The street was actually looking for a draw of 3.5 million barrels. It was increased 3.3 million for crude, 3.3 million for gasoline, and more than 4 million for distillates. The news smacked West Texas Intermediate down more than 5%. One of the problems, I think, though, too many rigs. You know, this news, in fact, dovetails with the continued return of U.S. rigs, led, of course, by horizontal oil rigs, that sort of fracking drilling. In the last year, overall rigs have climbed to 733. That's 126% in just 52 weeks. In fact, 11 more last week, 408 year over year. So as energy-related names began to weigh down on this market, the major averages were ready to go into the red, and then President Trump began to talk up his infrastructure plan. Key stocks that have been the best barometers of Trump's infrastructure stocks, of his plans and ideas, they did very well today. You can see them on the screen. Vulcan Materials, Martin Marietta Materials, and U.S. Concrete. Some of those should be in your portfolio. And then came the Comey statement released, and then, of course, there was a sigh of relief. The worst-case scenario was put to rest. Even though some would-be buyers stepped up the market, still, though, grappling with the potential of what will be the catalyst that gets us through all of this. And, of course, there's still a lot of questions about Washington, D.C. Joining me now to discuss is Liz Peek. First, the market could have gone any way. Up 37 points on the Dow is nothing big, except it could have been a lot worse.
It's comforting, right? Because we've seen a little bit of seesawing back and forth, a lot of uncertainty out there about, by the way, the British election. It does look like Theresa May will be reelected with a comfortable margin, so that's probably good for the Brexit conversation. The market wants stability, and the thing about oil is problematic because everyone had sort of assumed that the OPEC agreement had oil sort of stabilized around $50. Now we have the Qatar disagreement, so that's raised some issues about oil, and also now we have big production numbers. And look, the United States continues to outperform in terms of producing oil, and this is a problem for OPEC. There's no question about it.
It could also be a problem for us, too. There are certain areas where America, you can't be profitable. You certainly can't go through with major capital projects and hire people. So, I think it's got to hold somewhere near where it is right now. What about Washington, D.C.? First, the Comey stuff, a little bit of a sigh of relief, because maybe we get all of those shenanigans out the way. We can focus on the true task at hand.
Yeah, and the true task at hand is obviously health care reform and taxes, and yes, third party is infrastructure. I'm hearing more positive talk out of Washington about tax reform and about also the health care, and so that's very encouraging to me. I mean, we're actually getting deadlines, people talking. I mean, the media is so keen to portray the White House as completely chaotic, nothing's getting done, et cetera. It simply isn't true. Obviously, the president has been meeting with Congress's leaders, trying to encourage them into action. I think he may have had some impact, but also, look, Republicans know, Charles, they need to have something in 2018 to say to voters, look, we did this. You gave us the majority. We got health care fixed, and we got taxes lowered.
If there was one thing that they could get done, I mean, we know health care ideally should come first, but health care, tax cuts, infrastructure, which one do you think they may get done first?
Well, I mean, as you know, the sequencing has been health care first because that lowers taxes,
That's
tax
also,
number.
to me, the most problematic one.
It is, for sure, most contentious because of the Medicaid argument, but that certainly helps tax reform. But I think the big thing on tax reform now, they're going to move the goalpost. They're going to basically extend the period under which it can be revenue neutral. That gives them a lot more flexibility. Look, if they want to get this done, they're going to get it done.
All right, Liz Peek, thank you very much.